Thank you for staying with us. It's time now to take a look at stories making headlines on the front page of Nigerian newspapers. And I begin with the Vanguard newspaper. The major story here, alleged budget padding, Rumpus as senators bicker over money sharing. And the riders there, Ningi, Jarigbe, open can of worms. We're all culpable. So-called senior senators got 500 million naira. I got 75 million naira. Jarigbe saying, we don't know how much Akpabio and his deputy earns. Ningi is saying, Senate suspends Ningi for 3 months. Ningi resigns as chairman, Northern Senators Forum. Akpabio meets Tinubu over Rumpus. What happened on Senate floor was embarrassing, says ex-senator. We need to revisit our national priorities, Sani is saying. And another story here, Agbekoya, OPC hunters mobilized as Governor Adeleke uncovers plot to attack schools, farms in Osun. And another story quickly, Akbakwa gridlock, Lagos government impounds over 75 trucks. 2023 presidential poll, most divisive in Nigeria's history. Vice President Shatima is saying, Edo Guba, APC may settle for Gbede Hammer as running mate to Okpebolu. Those are some of the stories you find on the front page of Vanguard newspaper. But quickly before we move on, threat to life, Bauchi governor apologizes to Tinubu's wife. Some stories you find on the front page of the Vanguard newspaper. We'll move now to the Punch newspaper. The major story here still talking about the budget padding controversy. Ranking senators get 17 billion naira constituency votes. Ningi suspended. Senators got 500 million naira vote each, says Jarigbe. Ningi resigns as Northern Caucus chair. Akpayemi says 500 million naira for constituency projects. Alleges some lawmakers plotting Akpabio's removal. Now, Army busts illegal gun factory in Delta, arrests 8. Ayedatiwa declares governorship bid, gets reps, 18 lawmakers nod. Police grill prime boy over petition by Moba's wife. APC PDP clash over Fubara Akpabio's political jibes at Wigwe's burial. Tinubu seeks Ramadan prayers. Jigawa slashes working hours. Those are some of the stories you find on the front page of the Punch newspaper. We'll move now to the First News newspaper. Senate wields big stick, suspends Ningi as 500 million naira palliative scandal rocks upper chamber. Ningi resigns as Northern Senators Forum chairman. Aggrieved senators plotting to unseat you, Senator leader wants Akpabio. Atiku denies dumping PDP, slams Tinubu. And the top corner, you lied. You've never served me an impeachment notice, Shaibu tells Edo speaker. And those are some of the stories you find on the front page of the First News newspaper. To this Nigerian newspaper now, 3.7 trillion naira budget saga. Senate slams Ningi with 3 months suspension. And his allegations were wild and unsubstantiated. Embattled senator resigns as chairman of Northern Senators Forum after his colleagues abandoned him. Senate leader Okpeyemi Bamidele says it was a failed plot against Akpabio. Edo Shaibu wasn't served impeachment notice, says aide. And Tinubu approves HOS 10 perm sex for FCT. Some stories you find there on the front page of this Nigerian newspaper. And to the Nigerian Tribune. Alleged 3.7 trillion naira budget padding, how senators nailed Ningi. Okpeyemi, Musa, Ibrahim Karimi, others set tone for his 3-month suspension. Jarigbe claims so-called senior senators got 500 million naira each. Those who lost out in race for Senate presidency bent on ousting Akpabio, Senate leader, is saying. Court can't stop suspension of Bauchi senators, and its spokesman is saying Ningi resigns as Northern Senators Forum chairman. Akpabio meets Tinubu. And you see the president there with former President Ibrahim Babangida there. And WTO to boost Nigeria's non-oil exports with $1.2 million. Some stories you find. Ayedatiwa formally declares for under governorship. And Oshun governor raises the alarm over planned attack on schools and farms. And bandits demand 20 million naira in exchange for Sakwato Sangaya students. Some stories you find on the front page of Nigerian Tribune. To Nigerian News Direct, budget padding, Tinubu meets Akpabio as revelation of 500 million naira shared to senior senators unfolds. Senate suspends Ningi, more controversies hit upper chamber. We are all guilty. Nobody has a right to accuse Ningi, Senator Jarigbe says. At the top corner, Nigeria's pension assets surge to 19.5 trillion naira. Criminals targeting rural schools. Adeleke cries out. Some stories you find on the front page of the Nigerian News Direct. And to the Daily Times, still talking about the alleged 3 trillion naira budget padding. Tinubu meets Akpabio over Ningi's suspension. And that's the major story here. Plateau State Governor bans open grazing. That might interest you to find more details. And then finally with me, Daily Trust now. Amidst budget padding allegations, 500 million naira, Daily Trust now, 500 million naira largesse tears senators apart. Ningi suspended for 3 months, quit as Northern Senators chair. Nigerians will never respect Senate in future. Akpabio is saying leader alleges plot to impeach Senate president. Mob raises Abuja marketers, prison officers gunned down, fleeing suspects. Now, bandits kidnap 30 villagers in Kaduna, return to Kuriga 5 days. All of the stories you find on the front page of the Daily Trust newspaper. Ibrahim.
Blueprint is the first with me. As Senate slams 3-month suspension on Ningi, Jarigbe raises dust over 500 million naira for ranking senators. It's money for constituency projects. Bamidele, embattled Bauchi lawmaker, resigns as Northern Senators chair. Now, 61 abducted as bandits attacked another Kaduna community. 2023 presidential election, most divisive in nation's history. Shatima says Nigerian candidate defeated religious candidate. Oshoba Clark back reps bill on homegrown government system. Strike. Kaduna Electric condemns NUEE action as unjustified. And also at the bottom strip, cattle rustling, grazing reserve problems will be over in 3 weeks. Tinubu, Ramadan, Kebbi governor reduces work hours for civil servants. Also, above the masthead, Wuse Market, millions worth of items burnt in security agents' hoodlums clash. Next is the Platform Times. Restructuring. Clark Oshoba advocates parliamentary system of governance. Emefiele accused of awarding multi-billion naira contracts to family associates. Physicians warn Tinubu public health in peril under current administration. Aidatiwa officially declares governorship bid, echoes late Akeredolu's wish. Protest as Gumi offers to dialogue with kidnappers of Kaduna school children. EFCC arraigns 3 former Access Bank staff over 15.9 million naira fraud. And 30-year-old graduate takes his own life in Imo. Next is New Telegraph. Bandits, again, 33 days to 10th anniversary of Chibok girls kidnapped. Bandits, again, invade Kaduna community, abduct 61. In seeming renewed focus on school children, women, soldiers prevented them from taking more victims, residents. Reports of my planned defection from PDP false, malicious, that's according to Atiku. CBN to roll over 161.50 billion naira maturing treasury bills today. Tinubu presents 2024 FCT budget to reps. Production. Man laments 80% profit loss to diesel purchase. None can survive with less than 100,000 naira monthly in Nigeria. That's according to Chinda. 2024 budget padding controversy. Senate suspends Ningi for 3 months. Study. Maternal obesity tied to liver cancer risk in offspring. You can read more on that on the page on the New Telegraph newspaper. Next is the Business Times. With $48 per barrel oil production cost, Nigeria has global highest. That's according to Falike. Says the higher the cost of extracting a barrel of crude oil from the ground, the less funds available to governments, Nigerians. How Africa can unlock world's most promising net zero solution. Also, federal government secures $1.3 billion for completion of Kano Maradi Railway project. African countries should unite on reform of global financial architecture. Experts oppose IMF call on electricity subsidy removal, say it will have adverse effect on Nigerians. Pension fund climbs to 19.53 trillion naira in January. Man, LCCI, Lord Federal Government's suspension of expatriate employment levy. Africa, Alake urges mineral reserves as equity to avoid debt traps. Next is Business Day newspaper. Rising diesel cost chokes businesses. Tinubu's dilemma amid reform backlash. A reformer faces the ire of his people. Last but not least is the Nature newspaper. Lagos government seeks 126 billion naira to save coastal communities from erosion. Ocean surge woos federal government, private sector support. GB Foods engages 3,335 local tomato outgrowers in Kebbi. Climate change, population growth, threats to food production. Abdulrazak. Nigeria must feed itself and export, says Tinubu. Dr. Mobiriola replaces Jamo as Nimasa DG. Oyo joins Lagos, bans use of styrofoam packs. Green program, Nigeria signs £995 million agreement with Brazil, Deutsche Bank. That's about it for the newspapers.
Right. So much to look into this morning, but we need to move quickly now.